Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Richard Scales is my name, and I work for Winstone Wallboards here in Christchurch. Winstone Wallboards, as possibly many of you know, is part of the Fletcher Group, and part of the Fletcher Group is actually by 2030 we want to be reducing our carbon emissions by 20%. And we're actually creating a new factory in Tauranga at the moment, a place called Tariko, which is a big part of reduction of the group's carbon emissions. When Bob, as he mentioned, started the Superhome movement after the earthquake, Winstone Wallboards was also looking at ways how we could, as a company supplying plasterboard into the industry, help and come into the Superhome movement and what we could do to actually create these type of things to get to the Green Star and to these higher rating of insulation and so on. And one of those big movements that we put into place, which has still yet to gain traction, I must say, which is our GIB framing system, which is where we remove timber from framings when we have double studs and triple studs, and what allows us to then put insulation all the way throughout, where we don't get thermal breaks where we do traditionally with a lot of the timber framing in a traditional manner. One of the bigger roadblocks that we have at the moment with having that system put in place is that we have architects design it, but when it goes to the pre-cut truss, that just looks a little bit too tricky for them to think about it, so they just actually ignore it and do a typical framing system, and then they go for the apology later on down the track. Have you had that yet?
Yeah, you've got to do more than put it on the drawings. You've got to talk to them and make sure they do it. And yeah, the very first home to have that, I don't think it wasn't called GIB Fix, it was called Frame Saver.
Okay, yeah, Stud Saver.
Well, that was the very first home in Christchurch, was a 10-star home. And I thought this will just be the new normal, because there's less timber and there's more insulation. Timber's more expensive than insulation. So it's cheaper and better. There's not many things that are actually cheaper and better.
Yeah. But
we've just kept doing things the same way we've always done it. And that's the problem with the building industry. This is the way we've always done it. It's the most dangerous phrase in the English language.
Yeah. And when you're hearing statistics like Bob was saying, we're second to Uganda, that's nuts. That was the first time I actually heard that statistic, so I'm going to remember that and use that going forward, because if a statistic like that doesn't create change, then I don't really know what will. So, well, yes I do, us. We will make the change eventually, and it is happening, and as we go on, we know that El Nino is coming along, we're getting warmer houses, we're needing to find ways how we're going to actually cool these houses down. It's just so many things at the moment that we actually don't know where we're going with, because we can't actually go into the future. But what we do know is in the here and now that we do need to improve, and partly that's why we're all here today. So thanks very much, appreciate your time. Cheers.